how to grow a link building agency.
SEO is probably the best way of growing, but actually
a different part of growing as well, instead of it being social media ads, is organic social media.
You're competing typically against the bigger boys. Yeah, you have to spend a lot before you see any return.
I think with regards to PPC, like AdWords in Google, I think you need to know the converting keywords. I think you need to make certain you've got the right sales funnels in place.
I think you just can't really make that assumption.
The issue with SEO is it's...
You definitely don't want to look at SEO.
Link building agencies be teaming up with PPC companies and web design companies.
They're also a bit of a trickier customer.
I think the last method for if anyone is looking to grow their link building agency is... Hi, so today I'm joined with Karl Hudson, the founder of Searcheroo. And today's video is about how to grow a link building agency. So we'll bounce off each other and give some ideas of what is the best way of growing a backlink agency.
Yeah, so I guess it's quite a difficult one because some people would probably believe that SEO is probably the best way of growing, but actually, you know, on the counter spin of that, we speak to quite a few top level agencies, link building agencies, and these seem to say that it actually is a lot of paid advertising and things that's helped them scale even more. So I guess if we look at sort of social media ads, let's say, as a first point of view, like that's probably fundamental to growing a link building agency, despite it being, something completely different. Like you'd expect a link building agency should be building links to grow their brand. But yeah, if you're looking at like say Facebook, Twitter, I know we're doing a lot on YouTube at the moment. So YouTube's probably a great avenue, especially considering if you think about the average demographic or like a marketing person or someone who's in business, he's probably watching a lot of podcasts, things like this, and probably on YouTube a lot. So that is probably, in my eyes, one of the better ways. What do you think, James? Have you got any other...
Yeah, I mean, with regards to, if we're expanding on social media ads for now, then I think Facebook and Instagram are great platforms. Definitely making certain that your website's setting up with the retargeting pixel, because the retargeting pixel is probably the cheapest form of remarketing that there is. Twitter ads can do all right, YouTube ads. You've got places like Quora and Reddit that you could be doing on question-based. Like what type of links should I be building and stuff like that. That seems to work pretty well. If you've got some nice infographics, you could even do places like Pinterest ads as well. So basically all different ways of social media ads. But then a different part of growing as well, instead of it being social media ads, is organic social media. So posting literally every single day and providing some sort of value. If people have never read the book, The Go-Giver, I'd recommend you going reading that book and going giving like value out to potential customers, or if you're doing link building for SEO agencies, providing them with some value with how they can scale their agency out can work pretty well. I'd say on that, LinkedIn is probably the best place to hang out and provide good value. But again, you can be doing it on even TikTok for certain videos and providing value on there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter again. But I'd probably say LinkedIn for organic social media. What have you found that works probably best on organic social media, Karl?
I personally prefer LinkedIn just because I find like there's too much noise on Facebook, and you've got a lot of friends and things on there. Some friends just don't want to see you posting stuff about whatever you're doing. So yeah, I definitely think LinkedIn, and obviously trying to just be consistent with it. I sometimes fall short on this as well, as trying to do at least one post a day, not always trying to pitch, trying to provide value to your audience. You seem to, it builds up, it like snowballs, has like a snowball effect pretty quickly when you're doing that. Yeah. Obviously there's other elements to this as well where you can start to look at, say, paid ads. Obviously organic social media is great, and so is paid social media, but then you've also got a paid ads game with like Bing or Google, and that can be, the problem is it can be very expensive because you're competing typically against the bigger boys. who are kind of controlling the whole narrative when it comes to the spend. Obviously there are certain industries where that would be fantastic in, but I just think link building, it's one of them. We've toyed with it before and played around with it, and it's you have to spend a lot before you see any return.
I think with regards to PPC, like AdWords in Google, I think you need to know the converting keywords. I think you need to make certain you've got the right sales funnels in place, that you know exactly how to increase your average transactional value and the lifetime value of your customers. Once you have all them ducks in a row, then it might allow you to spend that little bit more on PPC leads. But if you've not mastered knowing exactly what your lifetime value average customer is, which could be $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, when you know that, if you're knowing that you're acquiring a new customer at, let's say, $500, it becomes a little bit easier for you to be able to do that. But there's other, what's your thoughts on traditional marketing, Karl? So like billboard advertising, TV advertising, radio advertising, magazines. Some people talk about doing that. I mean, for me, it's a little bit old school, like in the way of doing it. But what's your thoughts on traditional marketing?
I think there's a time and a place, and I think the hardest part with traditional marketing is trying to gauge the ROI. I know like in previous businesses when we were doing sort of TV and radio ads, it was just very, very, very hard. Other than seeing spikes in traffic at the time that the advert was on, it was very hard to sort of note the trend over time and see that actual ROI. That is the main. I would almost say if you're doing a traditional advertising, you're almost just doing it for marketing and to build up your brand sort of notoriety, rather than the ROI is going to be X. I think you just can't really make that assumption. That's my opinion anyway.
I think another strategy as well is, you touched upon it at the start, is SEO, so search engine optimization. So if you're starting to know what people are asking questions on, you can start building up your topical authority by writing lots of articles, answering the queries and giving good value, which then you can then share on social media platforms as well. So it is a good strategy to do that. The only issue is, unlike PPC, where if you start spending budget today, you can generate leads today. The issue with SEO is it's a long-term investment. But something that is very important is, if someone's ever looking to sell their link building agency and they're looking to grow it to sell, actually having an SEO value to your website gives you a much higher multiplier. So instead of just thinking about how much is it and how much am I getting in return and what's my return on investment, you also need to understand that you might actually get an extra 12 months multiplier. So if you go and spend 100, 200, even 300,000 in SEO of your website, and it improves the traffic and actually starts generating its own leads via organic SEO, the multiplier of your site could be worth that little bit more. Have you got anything else to add on to that, Karl, with regards to SEO for link building agencies?
Again, it's just that, you've kind of hit the nail on the head. It's just the time it takes. Like, obviously, you'll find a few little nugget keywords that you might be able to rank for quite quickly, but again, you'll only be able to do that if you're leveraging the authority of your site and building that authority, which again is another thing that takes time. And it's I think it's like a long term. If you're getting into to set up a link building agency and you just want it to be a quick hit, you definitely don't want to look at SEO, because that's like a long term strategy, I think. Whereas, if you're planning on, the next 10 years I'm going to form this link building agency and this is the strategy that we're going to run with, then it probably makes sense. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, another strategy is lead generation companies. So over at FatRank, I was founder of FatRank, is that we offer a no-risk supply of inquiries, which guarantee any clients a return on investment if they qualify. Now, what we could do on this for link building agencies is, I'm going to be brutally honest, obviously I'm an investor in Searcheroo, so there's no chance I'm going to start generating leads for a link building agency when I can pass it into Searcheroo myself. But people should be looking for lead generation agencies where It might be that we don't personally build, let's say, a certain type of backlink that we don't do, that then we might then be able to cross-sell into another agency. So building up those relationships with customers, which I always call it like shouldering niches, that you might be able to do that. Or in certain scenarios, you could start buying certain leads from places like Bark and places like that. The only issue with that is normally they resell those leads to multiple companies and you're not getting exclusive leads. But what's your thoughts on lead generation companies to grow the business, or trying to partner up with maybe like even like a web designer? So a web designer might be building a website, and then the client might ask for, do you know anyone that can do SEO or content and backlinks? Should people like link building agencies be teaming up with PPC companies and web design companies to say, look, we'll pass you anyone that asks for web design, but you pass us anyone that does for link building kind of inquiries?
Yeah, I would say that's like a very good strategy, in the sense that obviously with us, we try to target SEOs typically because, you know, they know what links are, so it's a lot easier to sell and they understand the value. The caveat to that is obviously they're also a bit of a trickier customer because they understand a lot more about it. So yeah, definitely, you know, shouldering niches is a great way for a lead generation point of view. Just obviously make sure you pick companies that you've either used before or have prior experience with. And I know yourself with FatRank, you know, you're testing out a lot of these companies because you don't want to deal with, you know,
people that were not willing to pay and give you
exactly,
kickbacks properly. Yeah.
exactly. So you kind of want in the creme de la creme, and then that's only going to help your service hopefully get better as well.
Yeah. I think the last method for if anyone is looking to grow their link building agency is networking. So getting yourself to these SEO meetups like SEO Vibes or Chiang Mai SEO. And if you can get yourself to those SEO meetups, then you can meet the owners of SEO agencies or big affiliate marketers that might be spending 20, 30, $50,000 or 30, 40, 50,000 pounds a month specifically just on backlinks, because they might be earning $500,000 a month through 15 websites of what they own. So getting yourself out to these networking events as well and building those relationships in person, I think, is another great way of growing a link building agency. What's your thoughts on that, Karl?
I would probably say not just the networking, but obviously the mastermind element. So getting into the route, maybe even paying a lot of them. You know, there are maybe a small amount of money to join a room, but it's like a room of, you know, potentially just business owners really, where you can actually chat to them, and a lot of them actually they might not understand what link building is, but they probably understand what the result of link building can do, and obviously explaining it from that avenue could also, you know, you're getting straight into like different businesses. So it could be shouldering niches, could be completely separate niches, could be just a business owner that, you know, knows the value of link building and wants a link building agency as opposed to an SEO.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. So anyone who's watching this, are you a link building agency? Are you looking to grow your link building company? We hope you like the tips and tricks of what we've just said there. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know if there's anything that you're doing additional to what we've just mentioned if you are looking to grow out your link building company.